Before Clay's inevitable, unfun nerfing of our newest imp companion, I thought we can put his abilities to test and pit them against what already exists, including some combat capabilities of other survivors. So in this short and sweet showcase, we will compare Wortox and his soul hopping to Wolfgang's brute force to see which one comes out on top. And we will keep two variables the same throughout the combats: the weapon and the armor. One of each, and the handbat will be as fresh as possible. And we will showcase and compare 4 different scenarios, and ultimately come to determine if Wortox is worthy of more than being called a support character. First, a simple comparison that sees us using soul hopping to its max. As Wortox, you will see me standing toe-to-toe with Clopsy and teleporting as close to the last second as I can. I do this to try and maximize as much damage as possible as soon as I poof back into existence after each soul hop. But with Wolfgang, I will simply stand there and take blows to the face to also try and maximize DPS while comparatively not kiting as one normally would. To no one's surprise, Wolfgang comes out on top in terms of time to kill, but we must consider all the facts here. Sure, Clopsy's eye closes faster for Wolf, but while Wortox is having a jolly old time being very shortly behind him, mind you, Wolf is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and also very injured. Wortox is sitting pretty when he's done, and there ain't a scratch on him. But I hear ya. Not everyone is just bloody taking shots to the mouth when fighting big bads. So, I ran the comparison again, but this time had myself kite Deerclops as Wolfgang, while continuing to perform the instant transmissions to annoy him as Wortox. As for the kiting pattern used, though, the typical 3 to 4 hits and then run away from the baddie's attacks and then repeat strategy was used. And make note too that this test also continues to see us in Wolfgang's mightiest form throughout. But when you do compare the two, we start to find our first interesting developments. Yes, at the end of the day, the mighty Wolfgang and his kiting strategy does come out on top again. But only just. Our interdimensional, soul-hungry, teleporting friendo is right on his tail and fells Clops with ease once again. And, once again, he remains victorious when it comes to the overall health of our stats at the end of all this. But again, I hear you. How is it fair to compare Wolfgang's crazy damage output to Wortox's normal base damage? It isn't. And thus test 3 begins, folks. And in this one, we once more see soul hopping being our trusty ally while eliminating Wolfgang's damage advantage. Now, both characters are dealing the same level as damage as the other, but the contrasts are still ever present. For you see, Wolfgang without his mightiness runs into issue, and we plop him toe-to-toe with the one-eyed menace, but he cannot handle it. While Wortox is poofing in and out of existence having a marvelous time, Wolfgang is getting pounded into the dirt over and over and over again, and he is unable to stay so close, yet still avoid the fury like Wortox can. And at the end of the day, unless you have more armor and such, Wolfgang will just end up deadzo while Wortox finishes off Clops with ease. And even still, really, if you had more armor and such anyways, you are still gonna be in far worse shape than Wortox here if you went the normal taking route. So Wortox is definitely on top in this comparison, easily. But there is one last thing to factor in: not being stupid. With the same variables as the last test, we will run one last one that sees Wortox doing his Wortoxy things while a normal Wolfgang kites Clops. Now, That kiting pattern is the same as always. Get 3 hits, bait out the attack, and repeat. But this test is not like the first kiting one. Wolfgang is slower, and of course deals far less damage than when he was mighty before, and that renders him way less efficient, and it bloody shows. Cause by the time Wolf has Clops just below 3,000 health, Wortox is already flirting with 1,000 and below in no time. I believe this right here shows just how crazy efficient soul hopping is at not only completely eliminating the need for kiting, but also introducing a system that is far more easy to use and yet better than the original alternative. I mean, really. By the time Wolfgang is finished fussing about, we will have already knocked Clops down a peg and been on our way to sipping some margaritas in Hawaii. But there you have it, everyone. A short and different little video to celebrate our return, but also to showcase how awesome our newest survivor really is. Wortox is a lovely addition to the game, and I cannot wait to do more with him. But for now, take care, folks. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.